Good evening, you're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. We'll start with the headlines. Assigned by His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Excellency the Minister of Transport and Communications leaves for Tanzania to participate in the ceremony of signing an agreement for the construction and development of the port of Bagamoyo. The Media Committee discusses preparedness for the media coverage of the Shura Council elections for the 8th term. And a memorandum of understanding is signed between the Sultanate and Bahrain to enhance cooperation in administrative development and training in civil service affairs. Those are the headlines, and now for the news in details. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has received a cable of thanks from His Excellency President Nicolae Timofti of Moldova in reply to His Majesty's cable of greetings on his country's independence anniversary. Assigned by His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Excellency Dr. Ahmed bin Mohammed Al-Ftaisi, Minister of Transport and Communications, today left for Tanzania, leading the Sultanate's delegation to participate in the ceremony signing an agreement for construction and development of the port of Bagamoyo in Tanzania and laying down a foundation stone of the project. The Sultanate, embodied in the state's General Reserve Fund, contributes with Tanzania, represented in Tanzanian Port Authority, and China by China International Merchant Group in developing Bagamoyo Port, which consists of seaport and an economic free zone. The project will achieve numerous economic benefits for the Sultanate with regards to investment returns, great opportunities for Omani companies and businessmen through the expansion in new markets in Africa on the way to reach to global markets and to facilitate import of crude materials used in manufacturing. Completion of preparedness for media coverage of the Shura Council elections for the 8th term and the nature of the coverage at local, Arab and international levels topped discussions in the Media Committee, which stem from the main committee of the elections. The meeting discussed procedures related to the live broadcast of voting process starting from 6 a.m. until the end of the vote sorting and the announcement of the final results. Outside coverage of the election was reviewed, where the Public Authority for Radio and Television will provide all capabilities for reporters and correspondents who are participating in the coverage from various Arab and international radio and television stations. That will be in addition to providing special services for Arab and foreign reporters who are covering the election from all governorates of the Sultanate. His Excellency Nasser bin Sulaiman Al-Sevani, Deputy Chairman of the Public Authority for Radio and Television and the Chairman of the Media Committee for Shura Council elections, said that the committee reviewed all preparations concerning media coverage of the election. He added that during election day there will be live coverage by radio and television from 6 a.m. till the end of the voting day and the announcement and the results. Relations between the Sultanate and the Kingdom of Bahrain, its development and progress, came at the focus of a meeting of His Excellency Dr. Yahya bin Mahfoud Al-Mandari, Chairman of the State Council, with His Excellency Ahmed bin Zayed Al-Zayed, Chairman of Diwan of Civil Service of Bahrain, and his delegation. The Chairman of the Shura Council viewed progress of the Shura in the Sultanate and principles of legislative and monitoring work shouldered by the Council of Oman, besides mechanisms of cooperation and integrity among the two councils. The guest took an acquaintance tour of the Council's utilities and services. Enhancing cooperation in the fields of administrative development, training and consultancy in civil service affairs between the Sultanate and Bahrain were at the center of discussions at the official session of talks between the two countries held today. The session was chaired from the Omani side by His Excellency Sheikh Khalid bin Umar Al-Marhoon, Minister of Civil Service, while from the Bahrain side by His Excellency Ahmed bin Zayed Al-Zayed, Chairman of the Diwan of the Civil Service in Bahrain. The guest was briefed on the functions of the Ministry of Civil Service in the Sultanate and its program in the field of administrative development and other issues related to civil service affairs. A memorandum of understanding was signed between the two sides. They also agreed to appoint a general coordinator to follow up all issues related to civil service in both countries. The Research Council organized a third workshop on the project of preparing national strategy for inventions in cooperation with experts from the UNCTAD organization, with attendance of a number of representatives from government and private bodies. The workshop focused on preparation of a national strategy for inventions in the Sultanate, which is considered one form national plan priorities to achieve sustainable development. His Excellency Dr. Hilal bin Ali Al-Hinai, Secretary General of the Council, explained that the strategy is based on institutions, contact, human resources, intellectual property and economic diversification, which are considered social and economic development stimulators. To follow up joint work mechanisms among financial and administrative institutions of the Gulf Cooperation Council countries, the Sultanate, represented by the state's financial and administrative institution, participated in the 14th meeting in Doha of Their Excellencies, Chairmen and Diwans of Monitoring and Auditing Institutions. The meeting aimed to develop and exchange points of views on monitoring topics of mutual concern. It also discussed ways of developing performance of the staff working at the institution through joint training programs in addition to exchanging experiences. And still to come in our news bulletin. Within the frame of forwarding message of love and gratitude from citizens to the beloved leader, Omani Society for Fine Arts inaugurated the event Splendor Glow of Qaboos in the Governorate of Al-Wusta. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. More than 13.6 billion Omani riyals was the volume of foreign investment in the Sultanate by the end of 2013, distributed on several sectors such as oil and gas, industry and construction. The domestic and foreign investment are among a number of sources on which the Sultanate relies on to implement its economic diversification policies and programs and achieving sustainable economic and social development with a decline in oil prices in the global market. The sustainable increase in the foreign investments in the Sultanate indicates the investors' confidence in the attractive economic atmosphere and regulations that promotes investment in the country. Also, sustainable infrastructure and economic incentives are available in the economic free zones in Salalah, Duqm and Sohar and in other industrial states in various governorates of the Sultanate. The Sultanate is also attractive for investors due to its geographical location and active and safe economic environment. Meanwhile, the government and public sector establishments are investing in various global markets, achieving good returns for the national economy. The Sultanate attracted investments from 50 countries, topped by the United Kingdom, United Arab Emirates, India, Bahrain, the United States, and Kuwait. The volume of Omani investment abroad amounted to 7,129 million riyals in 2013, topped by the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, and Bahrain. Photos depicting the Omani life were displayed in an exhibition organized by the Omani French Center. It reflected the biodiversity of the Sultanate. The inauguration ceremony of the event was presided over by His Excellency Engineer Sultan bin Hamdoun Al-Harthi, advisor at the Supreme Council for Planning. The exhibition focused on many details of Omani life at work, in souks, celebrations, and the seas and mountains. To memorize and study the Holy Quran, the main committee for the competition of Sultan Qaboos for Holy Quran competition arrived at the Sinau Cultural Center in the Wilaya of Al-Mudaybi in the end of the final qualifying of the competition. The competition in its final qualification witnessed huge popularity from participants on 3 consecutive days, keeping in pace with modern techniques in the process of evaluation and officiating considered as additional value for the competition. In order to encourage youth initiatives and develop innovation talents in them to contribute to refine their personalities and expand their knowledge perceptions, an induction seminar about a Ru'ya Award was held in the premises of Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry in the Wilaya of Sohar. The award is allocated for the fields of electronics, scientific, literary and arts. The seminar was held under the auspices of His Excellency Sheikh Ali bin Ahmed Al-Shamsi, Wali of Sohar. Within the frame of forwarding message of love and gratitude from the citizens to the beloved leader, Omani Society for Fine Arts inaugurated its 10th station of the event Splendor Glow of Qaboos in the Governorate of Al-Wusta. The event aims to collect 1,970 artistic pieces with participation of 45 fine artists embodying feelings of love with the approach of the celebrations of the glorious 45th National Day. And now for the general weather forecast. Clear to partly cloudy skies will prevail over the coastal areas of the Sultanate with accumulative clouds and scattered rainfall in the Hajar Mountains and the nearby areas. Clouds will extend over the Governorate of South Sharqiya and parts of Al-Wusta, accompanied by various intensities of rain. Winds will be easterly light to moderate along the coast of the Sea of Oman, while it will be easterly to southeasterly light to moderate, occasionally active, along the rest of the Sultanate. Seas will be slight to moderate to the maximum wave height of 1.75 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. Assigned by His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Excellency the Minister of Transport and Communications leaves for Tanzania to participate in the ceremony of signing an agreement for the construction and development of Port of Bagamoyo. Media Committee discusses preparedness for the media coverage of the Shura Council elections for the 8th term. And a memorandum of understanding is signed between the Sultanate and Bahrain to enhance cooperation in administrative development and training in civil service affairs. With that, we come to an end to tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, good night.